Hey, what is up, entrepreneurs, and welcome back to Entre Woman TV. On this channel, I help you simplify the video creation process, and that means diving into video tech tips like I've done on the Canon M50, and that means addressing some of the problems that you guys may be having when it comes to live streaming, so I want to answer those in this video. When it comes to live streaming on the Canon M50, to be completely honest, as I have been throughout the duration of all the videos, I talk about what it's good at and what it's not good at. I bought this camera just for vlogging back in 2018, and I just wanted to see how much I could actually pull out of this camera, and it turned out to be quite a bit. But when it comes to live streaming and diving into that, a lot of people are getting confused about what are some of the limitations with an HDMI versus a USB type connection. And so I want to talk about that in this video specifically. So as I've said, the Canon M50 is not built for live streaming. What I mean by that is that it does not have clean HDMI out in the camera. Clean HDMI out means that you can not only transfer the video without all of the icons on the screen, but you also can transfer the audio. Neither of those is possible on the Canon M50 natively. Built into the camera, they lock all of that stuff up. Even when you plug in the HDMI, the screen goes black. So you can't access the menus and things like that from touching the screen like you may be used to. That is all reflective of the camera not having clean HDMI. But you still can get around some of those things to be able to live stream. So there's two primary methods of how you could do that. There's the HDMI, which is just using literally the HDMI connection on the camera. And then you have the USB method, again, using the USB port on the camera, but the USB method requires software. So let's talk about the HDMI and some of the limitations around that. So the HDMI connection, again, because it's not clean HDMI out, we still have a lot of problems. We have the icons on the screen. That includes everything from our settings to the autofocus box around your face. Not getting audio via HDMI, there's no fix for that. And then the camera itself has, at 30 minutes, it will go to sleep. Doesn't matter what you do, at 30 minutes, the camera will go to sleep. That is still a factor when it comes to live streaming and being connected up via HDMI, and then going from autofocus to manual focus so that the autofocus box is off of your face. So that's the HDMI side of things and all of the frustrations that come with that, trying to get around it because it's not natively built into the camera. However, when it comes to the USB side of things, it's very much so easier because you're using software to get around it. So let's dive into that. So when you're live streaming via USB on the Canon M50, you're not going into any specific settings in either, cabling hookups. You're just using software tools like Ecamm Live if you're on a Mac. And for PC, you now also have Canon's webcam utility app, in addition to Sparkle Cam, which is an option. It's not super highly recommended, but it's an option. It has worked for some people, but it's like, it has problems. So I went with the Ecamm Live option, and Ecamm Live natively built in so that when you connect a good majority of the Canon cameras, including their DSLRs, you could also just get the icon still on the screen. Your screen wouldn't go dark when you connected the cable. You maintain autofocus, and so you also bypassed the 30-minute limit because you're running software and the camera is considered busy at that point, and so it's constantly refreshing itself. You don't see anything. This is all happening internally. Now with the webcam utility app by Canon, it doesn't have all of the features. Like, it's not a live streaming suite. It literally just is the virtual camera feature. You run that software, you plug your camera up via USB, and you're able to share that feed. Now the resolution is lower. I've heard reports as low as like 560p, which is under HD. So you have 720p HD and then you have 1080p HD, but that's not even available. I'm hoping because it's in beta, it'll increase over time, but that's just, it is what it is. So I know I'm talking about Canon in this video, but again, if it's not right for you, I think some of the better options would be a Sony camera. You have the Sony a6100, 6400, and 6600, which are some of the latest offerings from Sony. Those don't have any overheating issues while recording, and for live streaming, none of their cameras have an overheating issue because it's not really working the internals of the camera. So as you guys know, I switched to Sony because it doesn't serve my use case, nor would this camera ever really could, because it wasn't built for that and I didn't buy it for that. I just wanted to see how much I could get out of it. Hopefully this video helps you out in understanding what limitations exist when it comes to using the Canon M50, even if maybe you should buy this camera for yourself, and some other options that'll help you as well. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those down below. But with that, guys, live with passion, and I will see you in the next video.